Hey guys, what's up? RedJayHead here, and I don't know if you guys have been following the news or not, but there's something that has been going on recently that is actually pretty insane and very, very scary to imagine. In the next few hours, as I'm speaking right now, five particular individuals who traveled under the surface of the ocean in order to have a look at the Titanic may be declared deceased if they are unable to find them. So let me backtrack a little bit over here. Most of you, I'm sure, have been watching the news, and basically what happened is five individuals. It was the CEO of this excursion where you go for an 8-day trip, I think, under the water in order to have a look at the Titanic and see it under the water. Everybody knows the Titanic. It was like a huge attraction. They did a movie out of it. If you didn't, then Google it. It was a huge ship that sunk, even though it was said at the time that it was unsinkable. So this was an excursion that I think has been done in the past, but it's crazy because a few days ago now, this submersible is what they call it. And basically what a submersible is a mini submarine, if you think about it like that, that's able to maneuver under the water, but I don't think it's able to maneuver on the surface of the water, went on this trip under the water. And the Titanic, by the way, is like 12,000 feet beneath the surface of the ocean. And at around 9,000 feet of this submersible going under, they lost track of it and they lost connection to it. So now these people are under the water or on the surface of the water. I mean, that would be great if they were on the surface of the water, because I think they would have more time to survive if somebody does find them. And they are on limited time, assuming that they are actually alive. So this machine has a basic life support system of 96 hours. So I think the oxygen lasts for that long, among some other things, assuming that it hasn't been entangled and lost communication indefinitely. So it's just insane because what happened is nobody knows if this thing is still alive or not, although there is speculation that right now they hear through a microphone that they've been able to access to this submersible that there is banging. So they don't know. I don't think they know if the banging is from actual people or if it's from or what the banging could be coming from. But the crazy thing about this is not only is this a trip that these people went on that was supposed to be like fruitful, insightful. This trip also cost $250,000 per person, or approximately that much. So to pay $250,000 for a trip like this, and then find yourself in a situation where you may be dying is very scary. And obviously, like, this is a huge fear for a lot of people, because I can only imagine right now, they were safely going down under the depths of the ocean, and you're going under, everything's going okay, and then you reach like a quarter of the way, and then the system malfunctions. And at that point, I can only imagine that you start to panic, thinking like, is this normal? Should this be happening? Now, the annoying part, or the also frustrating part about this particular submersible, is that there wasn't there weren't specific trackers that you could have actually put onto this submersible that would have either prevented or aided in this occurring. So what I'm getting at here is, I've been watching the news and been listening to some experts that say that what this submersible should have had on it are particular trackers that, in a case of an emergency like this, the trackers would release to the surface of the ocean. And on the surface of the ocean, obviously, these particular trackers, they would, move based off of the waves and based off of the wind speeds that are happening in that particular area. But then, like, emergency crews could use reverse trackers based on the wind speeds and, the direction of the wind. They'd be able to at least pinpoint where the submersible had released these trackers from under the ocean in an emergency situation. And this submersible didn't have that. So as somebody who's like an average Joe who would have been like perhaps interested in something like this, like seeing the Titanic underwater is something that would interest me if it was safe. I don't think I would do this, A, because I don't have the money for something like that, and B, because it is scary to go 12,000 feet under the ocean. But if they had something like that, at least they would have maybe perhaps known where the submersible is at this time. So now emergency crews are looking all over the place for this submersible, and, they are having a very difficult time actually locating it. And as of yesterday, like a few hours ago, there were 40 hours left. Right now, there are just a few hours left before they can officially say that this submersible has like no more oxygen in it, because its life support system was 96 hours, and that 96 hours is actually, passing. And also, like, I've been watching the news, and experts have been saying that knowing that this machine didn't have safety trackers on it in case of these emergencies, there are experts that are saying that would be like a hard pass for them. Like a hard no. And the experts that I've been listening to have people that have done diving rescue missions before. It's just things that you see on the news and stuff like that. But like, they're reputable people that, have worked in the business a while and are giving their experience. Needless to say, it's a very scary situation, and it's kind of it's literally insane and so spooky. I can only imagine you're going under the surface of the water, 12,000 feet down, and you just get to a point where something, goes wrong. They don't know if there was like a leak or anything like that may have caused the submersible to like not be responsive anymore. So that could have happened. But again, like at this kind of pressure, they were saying it was like 5 pounds per square inch of pressure, which like you don't have enough force to open the door. You're locked in, assuming that there isn't enough force even for all 5 people to open the door if they wanted to. Although I don't know, obviously they wouldn't want to do that in a situation like that, but just to give you like a point of perspective, that's how dire this situation is and how intense the pressure is at that level of altitude. I don't know, actually, I don't know if it's called altitude below the surface of the water. Anyways, quite an unfortunate situation. In a few hours, I guess they're gonna let us know if anything's been found. It's weird because they're also saying now that they've accessed a mic and they heard like banging, like boop 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 boop, and they appear to still be hearing that to a certain degree right now. But if they make it out of this in one piece, or make it out at all, like that would be such a relief for so many people around the world, I would imagine, because it's just so scary to think about. And it's supposed to, the intention was to have a pleasurable trip, and so when you see things like that happen, where like your world turns upside down, it's just unfortunate to hear. I'm very curious to see what happens in the next coming hours, and here's hoping that things somehow take a turn for the better, and they're able to locate. It's still this submersible could be somewhere on the surface of the ocean, but again, they don't know. They're having trouble finding it, because even if the submersible does go to the surface of the ocean, the wind speeds and the ocean is huge, so you don't know where they end up without trackers to guide you. It's just a series of unfortunate events, as it were. And so yeah, that's I just wanted to talk about that, and it's something to think about. Definitely not take what's going on for granted. And what an interesting story for sure. One that I hope by some miracle has a happy ending, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.